My brothers and sisters in Christ, this is the second YouTube publication in English. I have a YouTube channel in Japanese which was initiated earlier this year. The purpose of this channel is to let the world know how small the Christian population is in Japan and the day-to-day struggles of Yoko being a Christian in Japan. I would like the Christians around the globe to pray for Japan and the Japanese people to get saved. It is not just we have fewer Christian churches in Japan. I mentioned in my last YouTube there are only about 4,000 Christian churches in Japan, while there are 80,000 shrines, 75,000 temples, and 17,000 non-Christian churches. There are an estimated 380,000 churches in the United States, according to the National Congressional Study Survey, though there is no breakdown of Christian churches and non-Christian churches. Nonetheless, Japan only having 4,000 Christian churches is non-comparable. You can easily imagine how difficult it is to find the right church for you in Japan, even in Tokyo. Talking about suburbs or rural areas, you are lucky if you find a church you can drive to within an hour. If you find a church, you can't be too picky about denominations. Some people take a train to go to church a few hours one way. I used to go to church, which took me about 45 minutes by train and on foot one way, and it was a bit of a burden. What makes living in Japan difficult is that Japanese customs are rooted in Buddhism and Shinto religion. What makes living in Japan more difficult is not the number of Christian churches, but that Japanese customs are rooted in Buddhism and Shinto religion. For example, on New Year's Day, usually between the first and the seventh day of the new year, people visit shrines and or temples. Businessmen visit shrines and or temples on the third day of the new year as they return to the office on the fourth day. I worked for a foreign securities firm for a number of years, and with that exception, the head of a department asks employees to go with him to pay a visit to shrines and or temples to pray for business prosperity. What was worse for me, I was once asked to arrange a bus to a shrine, but I managed to politely decline, saying that I was a Christian. I do not want to pray at shrines or temples. It was not well received by colleagues as I was seen as a nonconformist. Soon, a huge rake shows up in the middle of a trading floor. When the colleagues visit a shrine or temple, they bring home a huge rake, originally referred to a tool for raking falling leaves. It is called kumade in Japanese because it looks like a bear with its arms outstretched, and it was originally sold at stalls at markets and festivals for its original purpose. The appearance of a rake raking up falling leaves gives it the meaning of raking in good fortune and financial luck, and its resemblance to an eagle's claw means grasping luck in one's hand, and it is now popular as a lucky charm. Kumade is displayed in the middle of a trading floor so that employees feel that they will have luck in meeting the budget that year. As a Christian, such a charm made me feel uneasy, and I have hoped such a custom would cease to exist. More traditions to follow throughout the year. New Year's tradition is just the beginning. Setsubun, the traditional end of winter, the day after spring equinox, around February 3rd. Children throw soybeans twice from the inside the room to outside to chase away devils, and throw soybeans twice again from outside in to bring in luck. Once you have finished throwing beans in all the rooms, eat the number of beans equal to your age plus 1 while praying for good health. Ehomaki is often eaten on Setsubun. It is a special kind of sushi roll. The eho of ehomaki is called Kichiho, good luck direction, and it is said that there is a god called Toshitokujin in that direction. This deity, Toshitokujin, is said to be the god who is in charge of the year's good fortune, and it is said to be the most auspicious direction where no evil spirits come. Hina Festival, Doll Festival, Girls Festival, March 3rd. Hina dolls have the role of taking care of evil and the wish to protect girls from disasters so that they can grow up beautifully and lead happy lives. Tango no Sekku, Children's Day, May 5th. Tango no Sekku began as a ritual to ward off evil spirits, influenced by ancient China. Armor and helmets were decorated due to the customs of samurai society during the Edo period. Armor was a symbol of military commanders and an important tool to protect themselves. Since it means protecting oneself, it also carries the desire to protect children from disasters and accidents. You may remember Kabuto ceremony of Shohei Otani in Angels. That Kabuto is a samurai helmet. Shichigo-san 753 ceremony, November 15th. The mortality rate for children was very high, and children were treated as children of God until they were 7 years old, at which point they were recognized as full-fledged children. It is a great joy to see a child grow up safely, and as a parent, you can't help but hope for their healthy growth. Therefore, the origin of Shichigo-san is said to have been celebrated at the turning point of 3, 5, and 7 years old to thank God for growth, and eventually became the prototype of the current Shichigo-san in the Edo period among samurai and merchants. Of course, they visit shrines to thank their god. Thank you very much for listening to me. This channel is intended to reach out to Christians in the world so that they can pray for Japan and the Japanese people. If you would like to register for the channel, please click on Yoko's icon on this page. For your Japanese friends who are non-Christians, please give them the link to the channel in Japanese.